Hello everyone! Most of the crew has been enjoying some well-earned vacations this last devlog. Even though there's been only 1 week of game development since last month, I hope you will enjoy the progress in art that we have to show you. There will also be a brief update on where the game is currently at in terms of gameplay. My name is Simon and I'm the game director here at Far North Entertainment. Welcome to devlog number 14, Artist Anarchy. Subscribe. This week and the next 2 upping weeks are all about the art and the visuals of the game. Kevin and Richard, our artists, have been working hard to develop a concept for what the final graphical style of the game will look like. Richard, our character artist, has created a new player model, along with a set of clothes that sets the tone of the characters of the game, but also the overall theme. As you can see here, it started with some concept sketches of different body types, which were then voted on by the team. A character model and clothes were then sculpted in ZBrush to create the final result. The physical shape of the character is somewhat exaggerated, and this is a style we might aim for going forward. Since the game features massive destruction and annihilation of large hordes of enemies, it already has a crazy vibe to it, and we feel it makes sense for the characters to follow this theme. In short, the style imagined at the moment is dark and post-apocalyptic, but with a touch of playful mayhem. This is also true for the work that Kevin, our environmental artist, has done. His work has mainly been about creating a couple of reference buildings featuring the 2 main graphical themes of the game. One of these themes is the cyberpunk-inspired culture of the civilization that preceded the apocalypse, and most importantly, its architecture. The second theme is the boreal nature of the world, in which the urban areas are located. Since the game world will be procedurally generated as an environment with sites scattered about, we believe it is important to make these 2 themes come together in order to create a cohesive whole. The buildings made will be used in order to define the visual divide between what is man-made in the world and what is not. This work has only been going on this past week, and the plan is to feature the final outcome of this art phase in next month's devlog. Okay, so let's move on to the gameplay of the game. Throughout development, it has been hard to find ways in which to utilize the engine that we have created in order to create a great game experience. Even though we are capable of simulating these massive hordes of enemies, it is not clear how to design a game around them. Not long ago, we tried out a concept in which the players found points of interest on the map, ventured there and fought off enemy hordes in order to claim loot. This was the main progress and would consist of unlocking new weapons and building new buildings within the base that the players could then use to prepare for the next horde encounter. This back and forth pattern had a number of design dilemmas attached to them, but most importantly, it was not clear how to make the horde encounters interesting and varied enough, at least in order to justify them being the core activity within the game. The decision was made to scrap this arcade action approach and push the concept more towards a sandbox survival experience. Exterminating large quantities of enemies will no longer be the main activity of the game. Instead, the focus will be on surviving within the game world, where the enemy hordes serve as the main threat to the players. Horde encounters will be inevitable, but rare, and when they do occur, all hell breaks loose. The idea is for the game to be pretty calm overall, where the players themselves decide the pacing, but with sporadic extreme outbursts of action throughout. The game right now is in the midst of this transform, which has only been worked on for 1 week prior to vacation. The goal is to create a simulation in which the players have to perform various tasks in order to not starve or freeze to death, and then start introducing enemies in various ways in order to complicate things and make them more interesting. For example, a temperature system has been created in which warmth constantly spreads to colder tiles. A flow which can be controlled by the players by building heat generators, walls, doors and floors. The first task that has to be performed in the current version of the game is to build a small house with a furnace and burn some wood in order to create a shelter and avoid freezing to death. Crops also have temperature requirements, which means that the players can design farming areas that satisfy the optimal conditions of each crop. While this is still an early experimental phase, it is this kind of systems that we will explore going forward. Despite this change of the focus of the game, we still aim to deliver what has been the main propulsion for this entire project, namely insane large-scale encounters between the players and enemy hordes, with massive explosions, tight situations and a sense of being very powerful but still being overwhelmed. And that's it for this month's devlog. A bit of a shorter one, but I hope you have enjoyed it nonetheless. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want to see more in the future, and feel free to sign up to our mailing list, join our Discord server, follow us on Twitter or Facebook, whatever strikes your fancy. Thanks for watching, hope to see you in the future.